For centuries, the Vatican has been the spiritual nerve center of over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. A place of continuity, tradition, and immense power. But in recent years, the winds have been shifting. Quietly, yet unmistakably, the Catholic Church has begun to transform. And at the heart of this change lies one of the most consequential transitions in modern religious history, the search for the next pope. The recent conclave was unlike any in recent memory. Out of the 133 cardinal electors who cast their secret ballots beneath the frescoed ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, nearly 80% had never voted in a papal election before. Many were appointed by Pope Francis himself, a pope who was never afraid to challenge norms. He reshaped the College of Cardinals to better reflect the Church's global reach, elevating voices from the developing world, from regions often marginalized in past decisions. This new electorate didn't just come with fresh faces. They came with fresh priorities, influenced by poverty, political unrest, climate instability, and generational change. What resulted was an unpredictable conclave and an unexpected new pope. That man is Pope Leo XIV, formerly known as Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost of Chicago. He is the first American to ever ascend to the papacy. His election shattered centuries of precedent and sent a clear message. The Vatican is no longer a European fortress. It's a global institution, wrestling with modernity, embracing diversity, and searching for a new identity. But Leo XIV isn't a radical. His roots lie in missionary service in Peru, and he once led the Augustinian order, known for its quiet discipline and scholarly rigor. He is considered a moderate, firm in doctrine, but pastoral in tone. His selection represents continuity, not revolution. A bridge between Pope Francis's progressive vision and the Church's ancient foundations. But before his name was whispered on white smoke from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, there were others, each with their own backers, stories, and visions for the Church. One of the most closely watched figures was Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican's Secretary of State. Fluent in diplomacy and experienced in the internal workings of the Holy See, Parolin was considered a safe pair of hands. But his support for the controversial China-Vatican deal, an attempt to formalize how bishops are appointed in China, made him a target for criticism, especially among conservative cardinals. Some saw him as too political, too compromised by global diplomacy. Then there was Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle of the Philippines. Young, energetic, and deeply charismatic, Tagle is known for his pastoral heart and ability to connect with ordinary people. He's been dubbed the Asian Francis for his humble lifestyle and concern for the poor. Many viewed him as a beacon of the Church's future, representing a shift toward the global South. But some worried about his relative youth and perceived idealism. Was he ready to lead the Church through the complex fires of moral, political, and doctrinal storms? Another compelling figure was Cardinal Peter Turkson from Ghana. A strong advocate for social justice, Turkson has long spoken about the intersection of faith and economics, ethics, and the environment. He played a key role in drafting Pope Francis's landmark encyclical on climate change, Laudato Si. Yet despite his impressive resume, Turkson's more traditional stance on certain moral teachings left him somewhere in the middle, a bridge too far for progressives and not firm enough for conservatives. This intricate web of personalities, ideologies, and geopolitics all played out behind closed doors. The election of Pope Leo XIV was no accident. It reflected a delicate balancing act, a church trying to honor its past while adapting to its future. He wasn't the loudest or most visible candidate, but his humility, administrative experience, and global perspective appealed to a body of electors who were themselves navigating change. Even the name he chose, Leo XIV, was no coincidence. It pays homage to Pope Leo XIV, a pope remembered for his deep concern for workers' rights and social justice. That legacy matters. In his first public address, Leo XIV echoed those themes. He spoke of peace, justice, and the sacred dignity of every person. In doing so, He signaled that while the face of the Church has changed, its mission, to uplift the forgotten, to champion mercy, to be a moral compass in a fractured world, remains the same. But Leo XIV now faces an enormous task. The Church is divided between tradition and innovation. It grapples with scandals that have shaken trust and disillusioned the faithful. It must respond to secularism in the West, religious persecution in parts of the East, and an increasingly vocal generation of young Catholics asking tough questions about inclusion, sexuality, and authority. And above it all hovers the question: can one man, chosen behind locked doors, truly guide a global church into the next century? The Vatican is no longer merely a place of still statues and silent rituals. It is a stage of intense debate, powerful factions, and rising voices from every corner of the earth. The power dynamics have shifted, and the choices made in this papacy will shape the future of Catholicism for generations. What happens next? That remains unwritten. But one thing is clear: the conclave may be over, but the transformation of the Catholic Church is just beginning. If this moment in church history moved you or made you think differently about the future of faith, share your thoughts in the comments. Which direction do you believe the Church should take next? Subscribe to stay connected as we continue to explore the forces shaping modern Catholicism and the men who may lead it.